Hello everybody, Des12530. It has been a little bit since I've recorded a game, and since I've actually made a guide video. I'll get into that in a second, but just to go over what weapon we were talking about today, we were talking about the Hcar, or as it is known in real life, the Heavy Counter Assault Rifle, or, if you want to be super technical about it, the modernized version of the BAR. And not the bar some people are thinking of. I mean the bar from World War II. So, yeah, this weapon in real life is literally the bar, but it's made a lot more lightweight, and it's also made to have a bigger mag capacity and overall just be basically just the modern version of what this weapon could be, I guess you'd say. It fires the .306 Springfield round, which is it's a 7.62 round. It's just the Springfield round, which is funny because we actually have the Springfield in this game, and they fire the same exact cartridge but do different damages. Kind of funny. Either way, so before I run to the stats and talk about the gun and all that, first things first. Why have I not uploaded an actual Hardline video in about a month, give or take? 1, school. It's a bitch. 2 was recently I've been having trouble finding good games in Hardline, and I've been constantly having to switch up my weapons in order to try and complete my one of my challenges, because I'm trying to go for the ARM. So I haven't been recording as many games. And then thirdly, or should I say, most importantly, the coronavirus is kind of making my life a bit miserable. Not because I have it, more because I have some people I know I haven't been able to talk to, and stuff like that, and there's a lot less inspiration for me to be doing things. Good news is, though, is that I'm working on a Battlefield 4 video right now. Mostly I'm trying to finish up my classes. My class videos that I was trying to make. And the other thing I need to do is I am also planning on doing more Hardline videos. I was the other day, somebody was asking me about the game, and I thought, you know what, I have this Hcar video that I was shooting for like a while. I might as well get it done over with, especially since the Hcar is my most used weapon in this game. Fun fact. And it is my personal favorite weapon. So either way, let's cut the mumbo jumbo, let's get on to the actual fucking review, because I'm done with this shit. So, the Hcar is a cop-owned assault rifle, or in this case it's a battle rifle, for the Enforcer class, and is unlocked whenever you want it, but it's at the cost of $37,200 in-game, which isn't that much. That's actually pretty cheap for a weapon that can go as high-end as this. You'll see me use a sniper rifle once or twice in this gameplay. Don't bother about it. I was doing other things, but either way, let's continue. So its fire modes are automatic and semi-automatic, although in real life it does not have a way to go automatic. It fires at a rate of fire of 400 RPM, or sorry, 450 RPM, and its damage over range is 43 at close range to 25 at long range. So it is a 3 to 4 shot kill at any range. In this case, because I was playing on that same server where you get the extra damage bonus, the battle rifles become a 2-shot, so don't ask about that. For a bullet drop, it drops at a rate of 15 meters per second squared, which it's worse than a real life gun by far. But it's not too bad. That's actually pretty good for a Battlefield game. And its velocity is 600 meters per second, which is very good, especially for this game, which this game tends to have somewhat slower velocities for guns. And its recoil is 0.7 upwards and 0.2 to the left and right evenly. And its first shot multiplier is 1.1x. So now I'm going to start going in over what I think of this gun and all that. So, main thing. Aside from the FAL and the SA, whatever you want to call it, the SA, like, it's basically just modern FAL. This is by far the most versatile battle rifle in the game for the cop side. Mainly because not only does it have the biggest mag of any of the battle rifles, it also has some of the lowest recoil stats, including the lowest first shot kick of the, without any attachments. And it also has good accuracy, and it's overall just a very versatile weapon. The main reason why I like this one was because of that. I can immediately pick it up, and even with all the massive recoils that some of the battle rifles had, you could use this gun without barely any attachments, and you can still get kills with it fairly easily. One thing I have to note though is that it is still a battle rifle in the end of the day, so you're not going to be able to run around with it just like and just dumpster people at close range, although you kind of can, but other battle rifles will outbeat you since this is the slowest firing battle rifle. But other than that, it's just this is my favorite weapon. It's super versatile, and I recommend it to anybody playing on the cop side, especially if you're a low level. And let's get on to my preferred attachments. Okay, so for my preferred attachments, it comes in 3 different setups. Each of them are made to a specific playstyle. Sometimes I switch between 1 or 2 of them, sometimes I only use 1. What you're going to see now is my main setup, which is my, how would I put it, my versatile loadout. So, this loadout consists of any sight you want. That's a low zoom scope. I recommend the Comp 45 with the micro red dot, or whatever the hell it's called. Basically, they're both just red dots, so it doesn't matter too much. But basically, you just want a low zoom scope. Then you want the heavy barrel, which, if you guys know what the heavy barrel does, that will reduce your recoil on all fronts, but it only reduces it by a small amount. And it also makes it so when you're standing still, you get higher accuracy. This barrel, I say, is almost necessary to any battle rifle, mostly because of the fact that, simply put, you just want the extra accuracy, and the little bit of a recoil buff just is better overall. As for grips, I recommend a stubby grip, or a angle grip. I recommend the stubby grip more, though. Simply, that's just going to increase your accuracy even more, so your bullets are going to spread even less. And to kick things off, finally, I recommend either running AP tracer rounds or running laser sight. The only reason why I run AP tracer rounds is really just because of the fact that not only do battle rifles all like off the rip do pretty decent damage against vehicles, but they also do very they also have, how would I put it, very, very inconsistent ways of tracking your targets. So the tracer rounds do also allow you to help, especially on like night maps, so you can trace where your bullets are going, and as well as the fact that your bullets are now going to deal even more damage. So if like somebody's running up on you with a car or something, you can dump your whole mag into them, and the car will probably explode. The laser sight is obviously just in case you get caught out, so, you know, hip fire. It's nothing. I say it's nothing really special. My next setup will be the marksman's loadout, and this is what I use if I'm playing a super long range map and I really need to like pick off people. So this is a setup you can use on any battle rifle, by the way. It works with all of them. But here you go. So keep the heavy barrel. You put on the FLIR ×2 magnification scope. Now what this does is it's a semi-thermal scope, I guess you would call it, infrared scope, either way. So you can see targets from extreme ranges, and they just outline white. And unlike Battlefield, there's a lot easier. Like unlike Battlefield 4, it's a lot easier because most people don't run the upgrades that allow them to hide from thermal scopes. Next thing you want is the angle grip. Now the reason why you want the angle grip is because with this setup, you literally just slam the gun into semi-auto, and you just tap fire people. And because the Hcar has a 1.1 first shot recoil. What is it, like integer, whatever you want to call it? Either way, multiplier, that's what it is. Because it has that 1.1 multiplier, if you put on the angle grip, that reduces that multiplier by 33%. So your recoil actually becomes lower in semi-auto than if you were holding down the trigger. So your first shot will now, and any like semi-auto shots will now kick less than your base recoil, which makes it extremely accurate at long range, especially with the already somewhat low recoil for a battle rifle. And for the accessory can be pretty much anything. It doesn't matter too much. You're mostly just killing targets at long range. And if you're caught out in close range, you're better off using your pistol because the scope and the fact that you're in semi-auto is just going to be terrible. And then comes on to my last setup, which is the basically just balls to the walls loadout, which is you're just going to run around and try and kill as much as you can as fast as possible. So the way I like to run this class is I run the vertical grip, or whatever variant it comes in. I forget, I believe that one just has the one variant. I don't know, I'm getting confused with Battlefield 4 and all that. But you just run that grip, you run any red dot sight, and then you run either the suppressor or the muzzle brake. I recommend the muzzle brake just because it doesn't mess with your bullet velocity, so at longer ranges you can do something. And then you just run any other attachments you want, and you just run around just spraying everybody down. That is the build I've probably used the least, but it does have success, especially if you're using the Cobra sight. So I would recommend that if like you really hate running around, or you really hate like dealing with people and stuff like that at long range, and you just want to like run around and kill everything. So yeah, that is my 3 classes for the Hcar. Sorry if I got a bit rambly, I'm just not in character right now, as you would call it. But yeah, so this is my favorite weapon in the game. I recommend definitely purchasing it. It's just from my opinion alone. And I hope you guys enjoyed this. And I'll be seeing you guys all later.